you have tongue depressors in here?
We did have some.
If not, this is totally fine. Because I'm going to smush it all up. So this is all going to get, I'm just smushing little poops in here. And once it's all churned up and all smushed up, you want to mash it around as much as possible because the eggs are going to be in there and we want them to get free. And the eggs have a lower density than the solution. So we want to have the eggs, they're going to all be free so that they can float.
Float. I was just going to say they float, right?
Yeah. Which is why in dogs you say like we're doing a fecal float. Just remember when it seems a gorgeous picture.
We're like, oh.
This isn't a photo frame.
Yeah, right.
And then you can kind of push. Do you want to clean up in there? I'm just gonna rinse this guy, and then you kind of can like mash it through here, just to make sure you get as much fluid out of there as possible, and then all this stuff on top can get tossed. Stuck. With a little dropper, take out some of that fluid. I use the same dropper, so I make sure that I don't get it into the bulb, because it's easy to clean as long as it's in this stick part, but as soon as it gets to the circular bulb, it's just a little bit harder. Not that it can't be done. That's just like a little nitpicky thing that I do for myself. Oops. And then this. So this is a little weird if you've never done it. You kind of just squirt this into each side of the chamber.
Until it like fills up like that.
Until it fills it.
So like one or two of those will fill it?
Yeah. And it's only held in there by water tension. Try to keep the bubbles out. It's hard to completely prevent them, but at least in your field of view, try to keep as little as possible. So if you overfill this, it's going to spill all over the place. And then you're going to cry because your very expensive microscope is going to get poop water all over it. And it will destroy your lenses.
We don't want that.
So just be really, really careful with that part of it and then moving it from there to here. Just like quick microscope stuff. So this is the stage, and that's where the slide sits. And it can be moved up and down by this. It's a new microscope, but these on both sides will move it up and down. These are they're called objectives. So you have a 4x all the way up to 100. All you're going to worry about using is the 4, possibly the 10. So it depends on your eyes and your own preference. I usually look at fecal egg counts on a, say more often than not, a 10 times power, but 4 is just as fine. So either that or that, and they just click into place. The stage will have to get moved up to probably about that point, but you'll be looking through and see when it starts to come into focus. When it starts to come into focus with this, after turning this big knob, this is called a coarse adjustment because it makes those really big movements. This, which you can't even see, is the fine focus. So this little knob on the outside, and on this side of the microscope, it's this little guy.
Okay.
Outside of the coarse focus, the fine focus will make it really defined when you're looking through the eyepieces. And then you move so once it's focused, don't touch these again, or you're gonna have to go through the whole process of getting it back. You're gonna have to move, obviously, to see each of these squares. So these little knobs here move the slide back and forth. You kind of have to play with it. It's
so you can
opposite.
see left, right,
It's
left,
like
right.
a mirror
Oh,
image.
yeah, right. Yeah.
What you think what you're doing here is going to be the opposite of what you're seeing. So it's kind of funky. You have to play with it to get used to where you're going. And then the eyepieces can also get adjusted. So I'll have it set for mine. Just kind of, if you remember your number, as everyone's going through, it'll be easier. I know mine I'm always set it as 60, but you'll change it for your eye width.
Okay.
So I'm gonna real carefully put this on here. Slide it in. And the light switch is over here. I'm really excited about my new microscope because it has an LED light and it doesn't get hot.
Nice.
Usually they get super hot. So I've had a lot of fun with this. And then over here, I don't like it super bright, because I feel like my retinas are getting burned out of my head. But if you need it brighter, there's this on the side, and you can adjust. You can also adjust. This is called a condenser. So this little tiny lever, if you look up here, you can see what it's doing.
Yeah.
It's kind of blocking,
Allowing more light in,
allowing
less
more or less.
light.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like your iris
Yeah.
of your eye.
Or like camera shutter.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So then you start looking through here. I'm gonna get it into. You can see where you're at, kind of on the side. Get an idea. Kind of center it for yourself. I'm not looking through here. I'm just staring at the slide. Scoot it up as high as it goes, and then you can start to focus the fine focus and figure out exactly where you are. So if you look, everyone can look through, but right now the blue lines are in focus, which may look pretty, but it's not what we want to see.
Yeah. We want to see what's in there.
So we can't see anything from this view.
Okay.
We'll just count. We'll have 0 eggs.
Right. So you have to like put it up to 10
So
magnification.
I'm going to leave it at 4, but I'm going to adjust it so that you're looking.
The
And I'm
other
just
way?
going to turn. Actually, go ahead and do it if you want. Since you're the last one to look.
Okay.
So this
Fine,
fine focus knob, you can turn that all you want, but turn it until a different layer comes into focus. And if it's not quite enough with the fine focus, you can use the coarse focus knob, the bigger one, and just very slight adjustments. And you'll see all of the brown poop slurry come into view. So usually you just see like fibers and
And then
yeah, perfect. And you can also, as you're going through these, if you're like, oh, there's something in the background that's fuzzy that I want to see better, just no problem. Just use your little fine focus knob and go find it. Because this will focus on one plane, but you have a fluid level that's, a millimeter or 2 thick. So you can move to adjust through that thickness.